Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Thanks for joining our stream. We'll be talking about the weather for the next 15 minutes, give you what's going on here in southeast Texas. Also, we'll take a look at the tropics. There is a new tropical storm that developed overnight. We'll be showing you that. And of course, we'll have your 7-day forecast, which shows rain chances every day, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too high of a rain chance. We're talking about 20–30% every day as we go through this weekend. Take a look at what's going on for the rest of today. Temperatures into the lower 90s through southeast Texas. Will still be around 90 at 6 o'clock, and then by 10 o'clock we'll drop off into the lower 80s. There is about a 20% chance of a few showers with thunderstorms popping up for this afternoon, so about a 20% coverage throughout the area. So a lot of folks won't see any rain today, but there'll be a few that might get a couple of heavy downpours, might hear some thunder, see a little bit of lightning for today. So we'll be watching for that, especially during the middle to late part of the afternoon. Allergy report, not looking too bad for today. Don't have to talk about tree or grass pollen at all. Medium on weed, that's up a little bit, but not much. And then mold is at 12,784. That's also at medium. So I've seen it a lot worse, but I've seen it a little bit better too, but not too bad on the allergy report. All right, let's take a look outside. We'll look at some of our sky cams on our Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network. First, we'll start off at Packer-La-Prairie, downtown Beaumont. And we got the camera turned towards the port of Beaumont with those partly cloudy skies overhead. Temperatures trying to climb up near 90. We're currently at 88 degrees, it looks like, downtown at Packer-La-Prairie. Humidity at about 64%, so it is sticky out there. And we're seeing a little bit of a northeast to east wind, anywhere between about, say, 3 and 8 miles per hour in downtown Beaumont. So not looking too bad. Don't have to worry about any rain as you head out to lunch. I think the rain should stay away until maybe a little bit later on in the afternoon. So heading out to lunch, just make sure you have that AC cranked up. Here's the view from our 12 News studio. Once again, partly cloudy skies. This camera is brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network, and dry conditions out there here in Beaumont once again with just those partly cloudy skies. You can see downtown Beaumont there to the left of your screen, right there towards the middle and left of your screen. That's the Beaumont skyline here in southeast Texas. We'll take a look at a couple more cameras, and generally you're going to see about the same thing. Generally partly cloudy skies, and just temperatures are going to be hot out there into the 90s by later on this afternoon. But right now we're basically working our way through the 80s here in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Partly cloudy over in Lake Charles as we look at some of the industry over there in Lake Charles, not too far away from the port of Lake Charles. And actually you can see right there in the left side of your screen, that is the I-210 bridge that takes you a little bit south of downtown, gives you a little bit quicker way around town than over towards going I-10 down through Lake Charles. So not looking too bad over there in the Lake Charles area. A little blue sky with some of those clouds, so looking pretty good there. Let's see if we can see one more sky cam before we move on here at 11:30 this morning. And there we go. We'll take you up to the lakes area. Jasper, once again, partly to almost mostly cloudy skies. This camera brought to you by Provalis, and you can see the Jasper County Courthouse here this morning. Temperature-wise, we go from 80s here to 70s out towards the west. 86 right now in Jasper and Woodville, 88 in Kirbyville. Looks like Port Arthur's at 86, 87 in Orange, and then 85 in Silsbee. We have not been getting a report from the municipal airport west of Beaumont all morning, so we don't have a temperature for Beaumont, but you can bet we're probably around 86, 87, somewhere in that range. Now look at the big difference over here, Huntsville, Conroe, Houston. This is where it's been raining this morning. They had a big cluster of showers and thunderstorms work their way right down I-45 into that area. So with the cloud cover and the rain they've been getting, they've been seeing temperatures in 70. Also, they had some strong winds over that way thanks to this cluster of showers and thunderstorms. You can see it racing southward anywhere from about 25–30 miles an hour throughout the day. It actually started last night way up in Oklahoma, moved through the Dallas area this morning, and continues to push off towards the south right along this front that is right over us. You can see south of the front, that's where the really humid, hot air is, and then behind the front where most of us are, not so hot today. We'll be in those lower 90s. But let's take a closer look at the radar, and you can see maybe the western sections of Hardin County here picking up a few of those showers out there. Most of that stuff's dying down, though. You can see down towards Galveston Bay between Anahuac and Houston, they're picking up some pretty good rain right now. So maybe heading over to Houston for lunchtime or whatever, you're going to be running into a little bit of rain. And we're seeing maybe a couple of showers down towards Sabine Pass and a couple of showers here in Beaumont. We are expecting, like I said, about a 20% coverage. So can't rule out a few rain showers across southeast Texas here. The bulk of it, once again, is going to be out towards the west this afternoon, as we're already seeing there on radar as that cluster of showers and thunderstorms came through. Let's take the radar back about 3 hours, and you can see this stuff just diving down through Conroe, Houston, Galveston Bay, and continues to move towards the south. And a few of these clipping just over the western sections of Hardin County. You can see a few of those popping up here and there. And then over the last, about 30 minutes or so, we're seeing some activity down towards Sabine Pass and right now around the Beaumont area. So there will be a couple of showers out there, maybe towards lunchtime. If you're going to be driving around, at least here in the Beaumont area, you might run into a quick little shower. That's about it. Our futurecast shows that stuff dying down towards the west as we head towards the later afternoon hours, and then we could see maybe a couple of showers and an isolated thunderstorm pop up during the afternoon with that 20, maybe 30%. Temperatures climbing back up into the lower 90s today, and then we fall off into the 80s as we head towards the evening. By 10 o'clock, we'll be lower 80s, and then we fall back into the 70s. Overnight, we're expecting mostly clear skies and really no any chance of rain at all as temperatures fall from the middle to lower 70s. We might even see a few upper 60s towards the north end of Jasper and Newton County tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, back up into the lower 90s, and then another chance of maybe a few showers or an isolated thunderstorm. We'll go 20% again as we head towards your Tuesday. Out in the tropics, the Gulf is pretty quiet. So is the Caribbean, the Atlantic, not too busy either. There are a couple of things coming off the coast of Africa that the Hurricane Center is watching, but none of that's going to be headed towards even the Caribbean. It's going to look like it's stay out in the open Atlantic, so you don't have to worry about that. What we are looking at, though, is this big area right here of convection or showers and thunderstorms. This is a tropical storm that developed overnight, Tropical Storm Dexter. And right now, winds are at 45 miles per hour. It's gusts around 60 miles an hour, and it's 250 miles northwest of Bermuda. So it's not going to bother Bermuda. It's going to be too far north of there. Good news, it's moving northeast at 14. So here's the track. After you move towards the northeast, it stays out in the open Atlantic. So it will not be affecting the East Coast. Of course, it won't be affecting the Gulf of Mexico either. So this thing is going to, looks like, ramp up maybe a little bit more to winds at about 50 miles an hour as it slides off towards the north and east. Now, will affect some fishing interests, of course, in the northern Atlantic, but as far as the Gulf, nowhere near the Gulf of Mexico, so good news there. Right now, things are quiet. Remember, though, late August, early September, that's typically the peak of hurricane season, so we got a ways to go still to deal with this hurricane season. Generally around the 10th or 11th of September is what we usually call the peak of hurricane season when we see the most activity. So still got a ways to go. Like I said, at least another, say, month and a half to get through the bulk, the meat of hurricane season. And then usually as we head into October, things start to quiet down a little bit. Our coastal marine forecast for today, we're looking at mostly smooth conditions on the inland lakes and bays. Northeasterly wind changes in the south at 5 knots late in the afternoon with seas only about a foot. We only had one high tide today. That was at 3:22, and only one low tide. That's at 6:39 for this evening. So if you have the day off, you can get a chance to get out in the boat. Really not too bad. You might run into an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Besides that, looks like a pretty good day. Just going to be hot out there. Our sunsets tonight at 8:07. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of an east-southeasterly wind off to Texas Point from 2 to 7, and water temperature in the upper 80s out there into the Gulf. All right, let's run down your forecast for today. The temperatures right there between, say, 91 to 93 degrees. Hot, humid, 20% coverage, and maybe a few showers with thunderstorms here and there. A little bit of a northeasterly wind. Really typical summer afternoon here in southeast Texas. Tonight won't be feeling too bad. We're looking at some middle 70s here around the triangle. Inland southeast Texas, a little bit lower than that, 73, maybe 74. And then the lakes area, I'm thinking some lower 70s. We might even dip down to maybe 69 or so up towards the north end of Newton County, towards the southern end there of Toledo Bend for tomorrow morning. That would be very nice to start off on your Tuesday, but mostly clear skies. Should be a nice night out there if you have any evening plans or outdoor plans overnight. Maybe camping in the backyard or something like that. Doesn't look bad. All right, let's take a look at our forecast through the next 7 days. And we don't see a whole lot of change here. Pretty steady forecast, not only highs and lows, but rain coverages too. Now we put them in every day. but we're going 20-30% as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and about 30% as we head towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So maybe a little bit better chance of a few showers or thunderstorms this weekend, but like I said, there won't be too many out there, very few and far between. Morning lows will be stuck right there, 74, 75, and then afternoon highs anywhere between about 92 to 94. So we'll see those numbers staying pretty close to each other as we go through the next 7 days. We want to put up the phone number here at the bottom of your screen, and that'll be the number you can text us if you have any questions about the weather. That's 409-749-9302, 409-749-9302. Write that number down, especially as we get farther into hurricane season. If you have any questions, you can always text us at that phone number. Can't call us at that phone number. We don't accept calls there, but definitely you can text us there, and we'll let you know what's going on. Your weather, we'll take your weather questions and give you an answer hopefully shortly. We check the phone periodically for questions, and we'll try to get to you as soon as we can. I want to take a quick look at what's going on across Jefferson County, because we're starting to see a few showers pop up now. So we'll take a look at a few of those, and we'll zoom into around the Beaumont area. You can see some rain out towards Walden Road, maybe a little heavy downpour there. If you're heading out I-10, you're going to run into a few showers there, and maybe heading down 69, heading over towards Lamar, or maybe try to get down towards Mid-County. You're going to run into a few showers there, so plan for that, maybe heading down that way for lunch or so. And then as we get down into, looks like Sabine Pass is getting this pretty good rain right now, and then just south of Port Arthur, just south of West Port Arthur, we're seeing a few showers out there right now as well. So there are a few showers that have popped up. Head over to High Island. Looks like there's a little bit of a shower over that way, or not quite over to High Island, but just into the marshes here in Jefferson County. So there are a few showers out there. The bulk of the rain, of course, has been over parts of Liberty County, over towards League City, Houston, and then you can see as we get over towards places like Brenham and Lagrange, they're looking at some pretty heavy rainfall there, with that thunderstorms. The leading edge is heading down towards Victoria. So looks like Bay City's getting some rain, and yeah, so the bulk of it moved off towards our west. But like I said, we still have a few showers popping up here around southeast Texas for this morning, and we'll see those through the afternoon. Like I said, about a 20 to maybe 30% coverage of a few heavy downpours. That's about it. All right, let's go back real quick to the 7-day forecast, where we're continuing to see just hot conditions. We are now into the beginning of August, and our typical average high for this time of year is right around about 94. So we'll be pretty close to that, and our average low is right there into the middle to upper 70s. So we're looking at numbers pretty close to that, with generally southeast to east winds through the next 7 days. So I don't know, throw the umbrella in your car, and if you have any doubts, maybe getting wet or so, let me check the phone real quick and see if we have any questions. Typically we don't have any questions. Folks think of questions after, and then they'll text us afterwards. And no, we don't have any questions. But like I said, if you can think of something you're interested in, make sure you text us at this number, 409-749-9302, and we'll try to get to those questions as soon as we can. Patrick will be here a little bit later on today. He does a stream at 6:30 to 6:45, so right after the 6 o'clock newscast, and then I'll be back tomorrow from 11:30 to 11:45 after our midday newscast. So we do these